In this video, we're going to discuss the graphical campaign authoring tool. Before we get started, it's important that you know just a bit about authoring a campaign for the Mobilize project. Let's take a look at the different parts of authoring a campaign. So you'll notice that a campaign is made up of surveys, and a survey is made up of survey items. For the scope of this, we're just going to use prompts. So a campaign has a bit of information itself, but it really just contains one or more surveys. And a survey also has a bit of information about itself, but it really just contains one or more prompts. For the simple campaign that we're going to be working on, we're just going to make one survey and 4 prompts for that survey. And the prompts are actually the questions that will be asked to the users. Let's get started. So you're going to want to navigate to lusd.mobilizingcs.org/authoring and go ahead and log in. On the first page, you'll need to enter some information about the campaign itself. Note that you only have to enter information about the you only have to enter information next to the items that are starred, but most items actually have question marks next to them that give you a really detailed explanation of what you need to put in here. So for campaigning, you're going to want to follow a very specific procedure. This is outlined in the question mark. Since our campaign is going to be about snacking, let's call it snack P1, which is the period that you're currently in. Last name, which is going to actually be the last name of your teacher. The year, and the semester. You'll notice that the campaign URN updates automatically. Let's enter a description. And pick a class. You should pick the class that you're in right now. It should have your teacher's last name and the period number. Leave privacy state and running state as is, both shared and running, and go ahead and click Create Campaign. Now you'll need to enter just a bit of information about the survey. Since we're only going to have one survey, we'll just enter snack for both of those, and the submit text is what your user will see after they've completed the survey. You can say submit here, or thanks. Make sure that the survey can be taken at any time. Go ahead and click Create Survey. Now that we're here, we'll just need to add a number of prompts. Note you can create a new message, but that's only supported on the Android client. So let's just create some prompts. Each prompt needs a unique ID. It can't contain spaces. The display label is what you'll see in visualizations, and the prompt text is actually the question that you'll ask the user. The prompt type is where you select which type of prompt you're going to use. For this question, we'll pick single choice. This is where you have a predefined number of answers and the user can select one. So we'll do mid-morning, and then we'll add a few more. Now you can move these up and down using the up and down arrows on the right, and you can also enter a value, but that's just optional. You can also remove any option at once, and change the default, make one of the options selected by default. We'll use none for this though. You can make your prompt skippable if you'd like, but we'll use that for a later prompt. Go ahead and click Add Prompt when this one's done, and then we'll make another one. This prompt we're going to use a text prompt. You can let users enter any text they'd like, but you get to select how few characters and how many characters that their text is allowed to contain. For this, we want to make it pretty lenient, so we'll make them enter at least 1 character, but allow the users to enter up to 256 characters. Again, we don't want this to be skippable, so we'll go ahead and click Add Prompt. And you'll notice that after you've added a prompt, you can actually click Edit and go back and change anything that you've done. Let's make another prompt. We'll make this one a number prompt. So we'll want users to be able to select from 1 to 5, showing that 1 is very unhealthy and 5 is very healthy. We'll do a number prompt. We want to make sure that they can only select between 1 and 5, and for this one we'll set a default. That's 3. And our final question will allow users to take a picture of the snack so that you can take a look at that data later. You can leave the maximum resolution as default, so just go ahead and click Save Changes there. Now, one thing you'll want to notice is that we definitely want to make this skippable and add a skip label of skip. This is just what's displayed to the user when they're allowed to skip. We want to make this skippable because maybe some of your users will be taking the survey on the web and they won't have access to a camera to use for a picture. So we'll go ahead and click Add Prompt. Now you've got the beginnings of a survey. There's 4 questions that you'll ask to your user. And one more thing here is that you'll notice you can click View Campaign XML on the left at any time to view the XML that's been generated by the tool. You may want to highlight all of this and copy and paste it into a text editor so that you can edit this later. The beta version of this tool does not allow you to save the campaign, so once you've submitted it to the survey or closed the window, you'll have to start over. Finally, when you're ready to submit it, and please ensure that it's finished when you're ready to submit, since you won't be able to edit it later, go ahead and click Submit Campaign to Server. Hopefully the submission will work properly, but if you get the campaign already exists, it's likely because in your campaign info, this URN is not unique. So now the campaign's been submitted successfully. Great, and we're done.